Who is that?
Who do you think? I'm so sick of this guy ruining our mornings. Unfollow.
Twitter. There are only tweets.
Breaking news this hour. The president in hot water again after just posting a tweet about the deportation of Muslim Americans and the deportation of all Mexicans and the deportation of every black NFL player.
Breaking news this morning. An earthquake in Bali has devastated millions. Rescue teams
Hey, lady.
working around the clock searching
Have you seen Trump's
for
latest
survivors.
tweet? It's a doozy.
No. 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 No.
Hey! Hey! You've got to pay! Sir!
Sitting there tweeting, beep, beep, beep. Should I keep the Twitter going or not? Beep, beep, beep,
Bing, bing,
Bum, bum, bum. You know what that is?
Okay, folks, now if you take a look outside your window there, you'll get a glimpse of the Times Square Ball. You see, it's located on the roof of One Times Square. The ball is a prominent part of a New Year's Eve celebration. Times Square is commonly referred to as the ball drop.
Why is he so this doesn't even make sense. I never liked it. These fake news again.
You see this? This shit is crazy.
I mean,